You know that I'm a big fan of various under the radar exercises like racking, burpees, or ice bucket training. And after 30 days of doing dead hangs, I will be definitely adding it to this group of hidden super effective exercises. Just like all the exercises I mentioned before, dead hangs seem to be almost forgotten. I was thinking of doing dead hangs a couple of years ago, but I always managed to somehow weasel my way out of it. And to be honest, now I feel kind of stupid because of that. Because the benefits I experienced in just these 30 days are so amazing, which really makes me regret that I didn't start sooner. That's why I want to share my experience with you today, so you can start taking advantage of these benefits right away, and I will show you exactly how. So first of all, what are these benefits that I keep talking about? Well, for just a simple exercise like dead hang, there is a surprisingly large amount of benefits. And these benefits are not just something that might or might not happen, you will experience every single one of these benefits. Because I know that I certainly did, and so will you. So let's take a look at all the benefits and then I will show you how to program your dead hangs and how to effectively progress forward. The main benefit I want to start out with is how dead hangs decompress your spine. Which might not sound that interesting, but you will absolutely love how it will make your body feel. Because when you think about it, your spine is getting compressed naturally by gravity. And when you sit or stand for a longer period of time, you'll really start to feel it. I'm sure that you know the feeling after you sit or stand for a long time. You just get that itch that you really want to stretch out, and that's exactly where the dead hangs can help enormously. You will feel almost instant relief, and you will be hard pressed to not make a face like this if you do the dead hang after a long standing or a sitting session. But the spine is not the only thing that is getting decompressed. The same thing goes for your shoulder joints, because when you do a lot of pressing exercises, you start to feel that pressure building up, and doing a dead hang can be a great way of resolving this, as it will give your body the relief it needs, and it's going to help your shoulders stay healthy and more stable. The shoulder is the most mobile joint in your body, which obviously comes at a cost of it being less stable. But to increase your shoulder stability, you actually need to focus more on your scapula than your shoulders. Because the scapula, aka the shoulder blade, is what really helps you stabilize your shoulders. I can tell you from my own experience that I have had a shoulder injury where the back of my shoulder that is connected to the scapula got torn, which resulted in me not really being able to control one of my shoulder blades, which makes it extremely difficult to actually stabilize the shoulder. That's why the title of this video is that the dead hangs changed my life, because in the past I tried a lot of exercises to get the strength of my scapula up, but it never really felt that impactful. But in just 30 days of doing dead hangs, I can feel that I have gained so much extra control over my shoulder blade, which has improved my shoulder stability by a lot. And I really can't wait what the future brings as I keep doing the dead hangs. Sorry for the personal tangent, but I feel like this illustrates really well what I'm trying to explain. That if your scapula is weak, your shoulder stability is also going to be really bad. Which brings us to the point where I can tell you that there are actually two different ways in which you can do the dead hang. One is the passive hang, where you just let your shoulders rise up to your ears and you just enjoy getting pulled by the gravity. Then the other way of doing dead hangs is the active hang, where you just basically get into the position like if you wanted to do a pull-up, but you just don't pull up. You just engage your scapula and you hold that position. So this is the variation that you should use if you really want to increase your shoulder stability. But this variation is a lot more difficult than just freely hanging. But I got a solution for you, which I will talk about when we get to the programming of the dead hangs in a second. Now let me show you the other benefits. But before we get to that, let me show you my training and nutrition plans. If you are looking for a guide that you can easily follow and understand, this is exactly what you should give a shot. I made it as simple as possible, so that anyone can just grab it and get their journey started right away. So if you decide to do so, check out the first link in the description. And now back to the video. The fact that you can decompress your body comes with even more awesome benefits. One of these benefits is that over time it will help you fix your posture. You can think of it as a natural reset for your spine. So if you struggle with bad posture, this is a great way of fixing it. And hey, it might even make you a little taller, at least for a short period of time. What you can also expect from dead hangs is better upper body mobility. So if your chest and shoulders are super stiff and immobile, dead hangs will fix it for you. And it's going to be way more effective than if you try to do some other stretches. Because when you do the dead hang, your body is under a weighted stretch. And if you have been watching my videos, you know exactly how powerful the weighted stretch is. And of course, we can't forget about the grip gains. After all, you need to hold your body weight in the air. Just by nature of this exercise, the time under tension is very high, which is great for increasing your grip strength. Plus, the progressive overload on the dead hang is basically built in, because as your grip strength increases, you will naturally hang for longer. Alright, now it's time to finally get to the programming of the dead hangs. The amount of time that you will be able to hang for will differ from person to person, but the general idea is that you want to set a daily dead hang goal, which is the number of minutes that you will spend doing dead hangs each day. And once you have that number set, you will then split it into smaller sets. So what I did, for example, is that I set the daily dead hang goal of 5 minutes. And because I knew that I could hang for more than a minute, I then split these 5 minutes of hanging into 5 sets of 1 minute. And then I just do them throughout the day. You know, you don't need to do it like a gym set all at once. If you have a pull-up bar at home, you could just do one set every hour, or whatever else you want to do. There are not really any rules, as long as you just complete your dead hang goal at the end of the day. If I were you and I wanted to find my daily dead hang goal, I would first test how long I can hang for, and then just do that for 5 sets. So if you can hold the dead hang for 20 seconds, then do 5 sets of 20-second holds. And as you get better, you can increase the number of seconds. It really is as simple as that. And if you are wondering about the number of days, the answer is also really simple. I personally did dead hangs every single day, but generally doing it at least 4 to 5 times a week is something that I would recommend. Just listen to your body, and if you are not sore or anything from doing dead hangs, just go again, and you will eventually work up to doing it every single day, which will then just become a part of your life. And now let's quickly go back to what I was talking about earlier, which is the passive versus the active hang. As we established before, the active hang is great for really strengthening your scapula and increasing your shoulder stability, and it might even have some carryover to pull-ups. But as I said, it's more difficult than the passive hang. So if you wanna also include the active hang together with your passive hang, but you can't really hold that position for too long, do one simple thing. Start your dead hang set with the active hang, and once you are not able to hold that position anymore, simply switch to the passive hang for the rest of the set. This is what I did personally, and I think it works really well. What you could also do if you don't want to just hold the active hang position is to do scapular pull-ups, where you just get into the active hang position and then you go back, and you repeat this over and over. And then once you are not able to do any more scapular pull-ups anymore, you can once again just switch to the passive hang to finish off the set. The dead hang has truly changed my life, and I'm sure it will also change yours. And the best part about it is that it will only take like 5 minutes of your day. And if you ask me, all these benefits for just 5 minutes of my time, that's a pretty sweet deal. So what are you waiting for? Go give it a shot. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you learned something, and I will see you next time. Oh, that's a spicy video. How about you take a look?